We respectfully request the Sangha great virtues for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tăng thịnh, vì thứ pháp hội cấp nhất thiết chúng sanh. Thịnh chiến diệu pháp giáo đạo ngã mùng, như há liêu sanh thoát tư ly khổ đà la, tốc chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Namo Sananto Suchedo Ye Olahudi San Miao San Puto Xie. Namo Tathagata Toya Daya Alahade Tamil Tambo Da Toa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I am able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual principles. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai jian wan jie nan zao yu wo jin jie wen de shou chi yan jie Ru Lai Cha Shu Yi. O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Great Master Huineng, Great Master YongHua, all good monks and nuns, and all good no advisors, Emitofuo. Chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa Lục Tổ, Hòa Thượng Tiên Hóa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện sĩ thức A Di Đà Phật. Chư Phật Bồ Tát, 六祖师父上人，各位出家人，各位善知识，阿弥陀佛。Hello everyone, today is the 3rd of December 2022. We are here in Wei Mountain Temple to continue discussing the 6th Patriarch Sutra. And this is the second time we're going over the sutra. We went through this something like 3 or 4 years ago, Chinese style, meaning very traditional within the bounds of the patriarchs and the great Chinese masters. This time around, we decided to do it American style, no holds barred. So ask any questions you want, and I hope you do. Because I wish I was there when he was explaining the sutra, because then I would have saved myself so much time by getting answers to my questions. That's what I used to have problems with, is so many questions when you meditate. It's like during this Chan Chi here. I'm surprised that none of you asked any question relating to Chan at all. Meaning you're not making any progress. Tough luck. It's your problem. But the fact was that when I was cultivating, I had so many questions. I meditated a lot. I love to meditate. I would meditate every day, 7 days a week, for years. And as a result, I have a lot of questions, and these questions kept on coming back over and over again because I couldn't find the answers. So it took years to resolve the answers. If I quit, I would have not found answers to these questions. So I was, at the time, I wished I could ask someone for answers. And I was, for some reason, I decided not to ask Master Hsuan because I figured he's dead already, so why bother him? Besides, he said his student was supposed to help me. So please feel free to ask questions, and that's a sign of your being able to make progress, is that when you meditate, you're going to have problems. You're going to have a lot of questions. And that's, if you can find answers to those questions, you can make progress very quickly. That is called sudden teaching. You can make certain improvements in small steps, or you can make certain leaps, huge leaps, through the instructions. That's why it's called sudden teaching. Right? And so it's a pleasure to be here with you. For some reason on Saturday night here, right, in Los Angeles. And usually when I was younger, it's date night. What are you doing? Boring, you young people. Take your wife out on a date, come on. But anyway, I'm glad you're here. And in Korea, it's sort of like Sunday afternoon. Right now it should be their lunchtime. But they're here, so I'm glad you're all here. Actually, I'd like to share with you something. This Chanchi here, I decided to heal myself for a change. After working for 15, 16 years, teaching people and healing people, and I decided I need to think longer term. I couldn't ignore, like Master Hsuan. He never took care of himself. As a result, he died very quickly because he healed so many people, left and right, and he's able to do that. And so he took on a lot of people's illnesses, and so that's why when by the end of his life, he was in great pain and he couldn't live very long. So I decided part of my job is he made it easier for the rest of us, our future generations. So I figured that my job is to stick around longer to train people, to train you, especially teach you things like the great master didn't have a chance to explain to his students because there's no need then. So that's why I decided to heal myself, and it's fascinating. You learn so much by doing that. So now I am on my second wave. First wave is over. Now it's a second wave of illnesses coming at you. So that's the nature of illnesses. They come at you in waves, okay, non-stop. It goes deeper and deeper layers, if you will, like your muscles. Your biceps here. Hey, Peter, biceps. Okay, they have many layers. Okay, same thing, illnesses. Okay. Anyways, it's interesting. Question from Kong, go ahead.
무성 씨의 질문입니다. 삼보를 마음챙김하는 방법을 알고 싶습니다. 지난 법문에 삼보를 마음챙김해야 한다고 하셨는데 구체적으로 어떻게 해야 하는지 궁금합니다. This question is from Musong. His question is, how do I become mindful of the triple jewel? During the last Dharma talk, Master mentioned that we need to be mindful of the triple jewel. I would like to know how to do it in details.
Excuse me. When we tell you to be mindful of the triple jewel, the first objective is to tell you that, to remind you that if you have wisdom, if you have blessings, that you naturally will be mindful of the triple jewel. For example, the people who have greater blessings than you, who are wiser than you, like the bodhisattvas, they are always mindful of the triple jewel because that's the most important thing in their lives. If you have wisdom at all, you realize that you are, especially smart people like you, successful people like you, are always mindful of the things you need to do to be successful. Yes? Make more money, become more famous, have more love in your life, have more fun. All those things are important to you. When it's important to you, then you are always mindful of it. Yes? Same thing. If you have wisdom, then you naturally will be mindful of triple jewel. In fact, being mindful of triple jewel will help you become more successful, will help you get what you want a lot faster, a lot easier. Okay, so what does it take to be mindful of triple jewel? To be mindful of triple jewel, and first of all, is to somehow brainwash yourself when you first start out to recognize the importance of triple jewel. You didn't know the triple jewel is important because you go to colleges, you go to school. No one taught you that. Only taught you how to calculate, how to build your knowledge, but that's worldly knowledge. This kind of knowledge where you're mindful of triple jewel by recognizing the importance of triple jewel, this kind of knowledge here will stay with you lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. It's irreplaceable. And that takes tremendous blessings. And that also generates incredible blessings for you. We tell you to do it. To tell you is to remind you that this is the best thing possible for you to set your mind in the proper frame, on the proper tracks, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. For example, in our world, there are many lay people who are enlightened. They actually are bodhisattvas. Okay? There were some of those who died already. I don't know. Anyway, not that interesting. It's one that interests me, but he's not dead yet. He'll die soon. Yeah, he's 90 already. It limits the head counts for you. Anyway, so this guy here, he may be a lay person, but actually he's thinking about making money and so forth, and he's very recognized as a powerhouse, but he's mindful of triple jewel. Okay, so you see, this is a knowledge. This is a habit that is extremely useful for you. So how do you become successful, be mindful again? Again, you inject the seed into recognizing, prioritize your mindfulness into the things that are most important to you instead of just worldly pursuits. Worldly pursuits are temporary. It only lasts one lifetime. After you die, who cares anyway? They have a drink on you, that's about it. okay, and they divvy up all your fortunes. So the mindset, by being mindful, Chipu again, you carry it lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And that is extremely beneficial for you. And so that's why you first learn about the concept, and you try to be mindful by going to Chanchi like this, by reading on that, on Buddhism, by taking classes in Buddhism, by going to temples, and every now and then on the weekend regularly, by meditation. You do all those spiritual Buddhist practices, and they are basically activities that will help you increase your mindfulness of Triple Jewel. So the mindful Triple Jewel is a rotation basis. Sometimes you're mindful of the Buddha, like when you recite the Buddha's name in a Pure Land Dharma door, then you're mindful of the Buddha right then. Okay? And then when you listen to a lecture like this, so you read on Buddhist concepts or pick up a book on Chan, for example, then you're mindful of the Dharma. Okay? That's a Dharma jewel. And finally, number 3 is the Sangha jewel. You're mindful of them by many of you who have benefited greatly from the Triple Jewel, from the services that were rendered to you in the past, and you achieve great milestone, great progress in your life. Those of you, there's so many of you all these years, more so recently, how quickly you progress recently, it's so impressive. The last 2 years, 3 years tops, so many of you have progressed incredibly fast. And so quite a few of you also opened your wisdom and naturally became grateful and wanted to get closer and wanted to be to share what you've got with others. So that's why many of you decided to draw closer to the Sangha jewel, to us, meaning us, and help us out, okay, in small things. And that's to be mindful of the Sangha. The Sangha jewel is to, for many of you, those who made progress so fast, more so than before, I admit. In the prior years, our students were a lot slower in making progress because we were dancing circles. We were deferring to the Chinese style. I'm no patriarch, have no interest in being a patriarch. I don't think much of patriarchs. It's because I'm sick. Mentally, I'm not stable, okay? Too manic, I think. I only see people's faults. And sounds familiar? Yeah, most of you are so bipolar. So when I talk about myself, oh yeah, me too. You're all going. And I found that you have been making progress incredibly fast, and I'm very, very pleased. And it's not surprising in that you changed so much. Many of you look younger, healthier. Just the same myself. I decided to meditate, to cleanse myself, to heal myself, and naturally you get healthier through Chan meditation. When you meditate, you will get healthier naturally. He's healthier. He's been here like 4 or 5 weeks now. This gentleman here is a lot healthier than when he first came. And let me see, when he first came until now, he is about significantly healthier than before. His chi is so much stronger. It flows a lot better inside his body. That's a sign of health. And so you naturally realize that you want to share with others who need it or who have similar interests and so forth. That's being mindful. That's being mindful of the sangha jewel. Okay, but the best ones of my disciples are the ones who actually are not simply just mindful of Triple Jewel, but they also are making sacrifices. Great sacrifices for Triple Jewel. And they'll probably be enlightened. Yes, does it help? Okay, Kong, continue.
This question is from me. I've been wondering about this for some years. Some years ago, before you ever came to Korea, I came to Korea 2 times, and then you mentioned that I improved to the next level from each visit. And I was wondering how that happened, because at the time I wasn't able to really sit in full lotus for a long time. I was maybe barely able to sit for an hour. And then I was traveling to other different temples, and when I met people, I remember what Master told me. And then, and then I was like, wow, that's what Master said, because I saw something or I met somebody. So would that be part of Southern teaching as well? Yes or no?
I'm sorry,
Is
honey.
it like Southern Dharma thing?
I don't remember anymore. Who are you again?
Sorry. What did you say? This is XA, Master. That your disciple that's been in Korea.
I've been accused of getting old and my hearing is not so good anymore. Your voice does sound familiar. Who are you again? What's your name?
Sorry, my English is getting worse and worse every day.
Well, maybe I lied. It was so long ago, right? Really long ago, right? Like 4 or 5 years ago.
Maybe like 6 years ago.
6 years ago. I've been known to lie when I need to. Okay, that's possible. Another possibility is that you seem to be stuck on full lotus. Okay, and the Chan training we do is fundamentally asking you to do something that's difficult. That your ego says, I don't want this, I don't want this. Sounds familiar, are you Koreans? This hurts. This is too much. Okay, the Chan training. And that's what I learned from Master YongHua. I don't know why it was not taught that way anymore. It's such a beautiful, beautiful thing. Because what we do in our Weiyang lineage, we're proud of it. I'm proud of it. Is that we ask you to do something that's difficult. If you can get in full lotus, we tell you get in full lotus. You can sit in full lotus, we tell you to sit longer. You say, I can sit for 2 hours. I say, okay, then sit for 3. And you sit for 3 and sit for 5. Sit for 5, sit for 10. You see, we keep on asking you to do things that's difficult for you to do. That's how you make progress. Okay, so many of my disciples who got to Arhat ranges, they don't all necessarily can get in full lotus, nor can they sit for very long either. It's about struggling, and not quitting. That's a Chan training. It's not supposed to be easy for you. When you can sit for 10 hours in full lotus without any problems, then I don't call it Chan yet, I call it maintenance. Chan is to apply yourself and do something that's difficult to do. And if you're able, you are willing, if you have the blessings to undergo that, because for example, many of you are able to come to the temple, but your wives cannot come to the temple because they don't have the blessings. Okay, that's how it is. It's just life. Okay, so if you have the blessings not to quit, okay, then it's a sudden teaching. This is why we put so much emphasis on the instructions. That's going to help you improve. Because once you understand, one day in the future, when whatever your name is, will be chosen to be trained as a lead instructor, meaning a master instructor, instead of just an instructor, okay? Meaning you'll be supporting the other instructors. Okay? Then you understand why this Wei Yang training is so vastly superior to Zen or you name it. I cannot think of anyone. I haven't met anyone who understands training like the way Master YongHua does, like the way Master Huineng here does. Okay, I talked to so many of them. I talked even to Master YongHua disciples who are not bad at all. They still don't understand. Okay, and that's why they don't teach Full Lotus anymore. You see, they don't teach Full Lotus because it's difficult for you. As long as it's difficult for you and you're willing to keep trying, then you have pretty strong chances of making progress. That's all. That young lady is sitting in front of you right there. She made progress already. It's difficult for her. You don't quit, you make progress. Is our secret. Okay? And that's why we put so much emphasis on the instructions. We sit with you in order to help you sit better. Okay? You need to calm yourself down. Okay? And then we talk to you. And there's a reason why the talk to me personally is much more important than the sit. But the sit prepares you to absorb the talk so much better than without the sit. That's our secret. This is why the Vietnamese or the Koreans or the Japanese who only go there and they sit for an hour. I used to go to Berkeley Monastery at my Master YongHua temples, and they would go there between 5 and 6 in the morning to sit for an hour and then go to work, and then come back there after work to sit for another hour. It's a program they do there to help the community, and to me, it's such a. I'm trying to find a polite word. During a Chan Chi, I was just telling my disciples today, the reason that you struggle in your Chan, when you practice meditation or Chan, that you cannot afford to do during a Chan Chi, is that a Chan Chi, you have to be as straight as an arrow. You don't beat around the bush. You don't have to be polite. You don't have to be courteous. Just spit it out. Okay? That's why I struggle a little bit when I speak Dharma to you. Okay? I cannot afford to be too straightforward because I lose you all. But anyway, I feel that it's failed to understand the purpose. If we want to help them meditate, okay, It's always, you need to be balanced between sitting and instructions. You sit alone, it's dangerous. You talk alone, it's dangerous. It needs to be a balance. Okay? And that's why. Okay, questions. Oh, so many questions. Oh my God. Let's forget about the sutra lecture tonight, huh? It's just gossip. Yes, one here.
Thank you, Master. YouTube question from Sky Gu. Hello, Master. Lately, I've been finding that when I recite Emitofuo, I recite it so fast that the sound keeps on disappearing. Should I recite Amitabha this fast, or slow down but focus on the sound?
That's a natural evolution. When you recite the Buddha's name, you can, for many people, you will naturally recite faster. As you recite faster, the sound will disappear. So that's why when we do the Fochi, for example, we sit down, we circumambulate, recite Buddha's name slowly. Namo Emitofuo. Oh, Chanchi people, that's too slow. Okay. And then we sit down and we go faster. Emitofuo, Emitofuo, Emitofuo. And then we go fast. And by the way, girls, we don't have boys doing this anymore, unfortunately. Okay, it's a crescendo, meaning you go faster, you build it up. You don't go fast and you slow down, you go fast and go down like many of you, especially the small woodfish. You build it up, okay? And you build it up so that you go faster, and then you stop, and you go into silent mode. There's a reason for that. And so that's what happens when you recite fast. Eventually, when you fast enough, the sound will disappear. And then when you keep on reciting, then something else happens. I'm not going to tell you everything. You have to find out for yourself. Okay? It's a paid subscription kind of thing. Okay. Is there another question? No, okay, fine. 7 in the back.
Thank you, Master. I was curious, as a layperson who works a lot, can working in the working world play a role as Chan itself with our challenges at work?
Yes. Couple of things. If you enlighten, if you reach a level of an arhat, or higher, your work would take on a new dimension, where you're able to see things that others cannot. Even if you get to third stage arhat, you have the kind of wisdom that most ordinary people cannot have. Okay? It doesn't necessarily translate into money or fame for you, but it gives you the kind of satisfaction, because of your contribution of your own self-worth that you realize. Okay, so you are making a huge difference. Trust me. Okay, you, for example, will be a lot more efficient in solving your problems at work, because of the nature of your wisdom and the clarity of your mind. You will be a lot more productive. Okay? And we do this because we want to be better, because you want to contribute. We do this and not for the sake of getting rewarded financially, getting recognition. It's never our goal. Because if that's your goal, it will stop your continued progress. That's why we never care. Okay, if it happens, it happens. Okay, if conditions arise for us to get a recognition, get a promotion, and so forth, so be it. And we are not afraid to back down either. Okay, so yes, you make significant contributions. Now, what about lower levels? Lower level, you too can make contributions in ways that may not be as significant, I feel, but because of your lack of clarity. Your vision is still obscure in so many ways. But actually, you're making contributions also at the lower levels when you practice Chan. Remember, in our style, we suggest that you practice an hour a day, and that's maintenance, meaning that even with the COVID is going around right now and the respiratory virus is going around and the flu virus going around, for an hour a day, your immune system is so much stronger, and therefore you won't get sick as often. If you get sick, you recover a lot quicker, and so forth. You save the society a lot of medical bills, save a lot of downtime, sick time from your company, and so forth. The kinds of savings you're contributing to society are really significant. Okay, so I feel that Chan meditation practitioners are really superior individuals, because we quietly are making a difference, and yet we don't brag about it. We don't sing a song about ourselves, and we do it as a part of our natural progress, our spiritual progress. Okay? I feel, for example, I'm pretty sure you are much more efficient engineer than before already. You are much better at solving your engineering problems than before, significantly better. Your wife is significantly better at diagnosing her patients' issues, and she's a lot more credible in inspiring her patients, in following her prognosis and her recommendations. She's a lot more credible than before. Yes? Okay. So that's what we do. Number 9.
Thank you, Mr. I want to speak mentally. 生活夫你好，我有个问题请问一下。
Okay.
我的头前面这边好痛，然后拜菩萨、上上他都头晕，有时候看东西的时候看了差不多几秒钟，他也这样痛。
So, Master, I have a question. My head hurts when the forehead, in the forehead area, it hurts a lot. When I'm reading and looking at things, it hurts even more.
So, how old are you?
67.
67? You're old. As Daniel would say. Daniel, you think he's old? I would never let him forget this. These Catholics, they lack sensitivity. You're old. Okay, you're sick. Not old, but your body is sick. No one told you that. Your body is very, very sick. That's why when you come to the temple, these things come out, because they're being addressed. You want to see my head? The back of my head has a bump. 4 days ago, it started coming up. And then it's been growing every day until yesterday it peaked at really a ball behind it. And what happened to Xian Tung is our, okay. I don't know, you can see it right here. Anyway, okay. And today, it started shrinking. It shrank by about a third already today. Because I meditate. I meditate for 5 days. It keeps on growing and growing because it's being addressed. So the toxins come out, so it grew. It grew. And then the toxins are being destroyed. Okay? So that's shrinking. And it will shrink, it will disappear. Same thing as 5 weeks ago, my face is red because I have issues here for the last 20 years. Okay? Every time I wash my face, take a shower, I would have redness here. So it's been around for a long, long time. So I meditated now. It's cut down at least by 80%, 90%. Your body is sick. You need to fix it. It's not going to go away overnight. If you come to the temple and you now have these problems, that means that you have these issues that need to be fixed. That's all. You have a sick body. If I told you that you're better, I'd say you're about 10% better than before. You can't feel a thing because your body is so sick. Okay? That's how it is. You have to find a way to fix it. It's going to take time at the rate you're going. At least you are, fixing some of it. And that woman there, back there, she was dying. The disciple of Master YongHua. Now that your life belongs to me, why don't you become my disciple? Huh? Hey, Catholic, did you hear that?
Mô Phật và thầy, con đã thực bữa nay.
I've been watching her die slowly because you're lucky you're not dying. It's not as fast for you. She was actually like a rock falling. She was about to become bedridden. You can walk around. At least she could drive herself. You could look at the way she walks. She could not even carry her own weight. It hurts, her legs hurt. And as soon as she's bedridden, that's it. It's downhill from there. It's too late. And she's lucky that's been one of my most loyal non-disciples. He comes and gets so much out of me, he says, I'm not taking refuge with you. Great. Yeah, go ahead, 5.
Mô Phật và thầy, con đã thực bữa nay là 6 ngày đó thầy. Con rất là hân hạnh cái cơ thể này. Nó rất là khỏe. Nó không, bữa nay là 6 ngày, nó không bao giờ mà nó nghe được cái đói. Ngày xưa con đã thực có 2-3 ngày thôi mà ở trong bụng em bé nó khóc hoài, nó có đòi ăn hoài. Thì giờ con đã thực bữa nay đó, con thử nào bây giờ con thực có một tuần nay thôi. Mà con rất là vui mừng, con không có nghe được cái đói nữa, không được em bé đòi ăn nữa. Mô Phật.
Emitofuo Master, I have been fasting for 6 days now. I'm very happy to say that my body become healthy. For the entire 6 days, I don't hear the sound of hunger. Back in the day, when I first started to fast, only 2 to 3 days, in my stomach, there's a baby crying, yearning to eat all the time. However, this time, only a week, and I'm very happy to say that I don't hear that baby crying out for hunger, crying out to eat anymore. Emitofuo.
I'm not impressed. You know what she did yesterday? I went over to the temple in the afternoon to do something, and she looked at me. She's sitting there on the bench, not even meditating. She looked at me, Master, hello. I said, yeah, hello. She says, I stop on 7th day. I say, what are you talking about, woman? When you do 9 days, you do 9 days. You don't stop at 7. Always negotiating. This woman drives me crazy. He's always, like, okay, I come here because you told me to come. It's not like I volunteered to come here to heal myself. No, Master told me to come, so I come because he told me to come. And I'm doing 9 days because he told me to do 9 days, but I'm negotiating and cut it down to 7. Typical. I don't know what kind of disciples Master Shena has. But this one here is one of the worst. Yes, 3.
Master, does the body has to enter samadhi? I mean, the mind has to enter samadhi in order to...
It heals faster, heals stronger when you enter samadhi. Yes.
Another question.
But when you enter a higher level of samadhi, it heals also stronger as well.
Thank you.
Yes, 1.
Thank you, Master. YouTube question from Jack Wu. Is it possible to be a disciple of the Master if we do not reside near one of his temples? I am in St. Louis.
Yes, it's possible. You don't have to become a disciple. Look at all these people, ingrates. You just practice, and you practice meditation. You practice and become a better person. That's all you need to do. You don't have to become a disciple. Who cares? My disciples are too much trouble anyway. I'm kidding. I don't want more disciples. Look at the current ones. It's too much. Too much. Okay. Anyway, the main thing is, even you live in St. Louis, there are some meditation classes. You should try to take them. They're very good for you. And what's good nowadays, and my students are also good teachers. They're beginning to understand. They may not have the kind of skills I have, the depth of skills I have, but you learn from them, you learn the proper fundamentals. So that you have sound meditation skills and you follow the instruction, you make progress. The online students, they're making progress like crazy. I'm very proud of that. My student instructors are so good nowadays. I'm thinking of, retiring soon. Because I don't have much else to teach you. Go ahead, go first.
Hello, Master. I have 2 questions. So the first question is, a lot of us don't really sit all day. We just come to temple for lectures some nights. Is it still Chanchi for us? How should we frame our mindset for Chanchi, given this is what we do?
If you're able to listen to the Dharma, that's very helpful already. Remember, I said, for me personally, when I train people, if I decide to train you, it's much more important that you listen to the Dharma and try to execute as per the Dharma we talk about. And that is Chan. Ideally, if you were able to do a Chanchi, then it's much easier for you to execute as per to follow the instructions. That's why the combination would be ideal. However, the main thing, in contrast, for example, the students the other students who follow the same Wei-Yang instruction, the same Wei-Yang, similar Wei-Yang style of training like at my master's temples, they don't have the instruction. That's why they don't make progress as quickly as you. Your progress is so much faster than theirs because they really don't have any instructions at all. The techniques is okay, but the teaching from them is okay. It's not wrong, but they fail because they have not understood how to give you instructions yet. This is a problem with the Chinese style nowadays. The current Chinese teachers, I don't know any Chinese or Korean teacher I've met so far, any Chinese teacher besides Master YongHua in their style, who's able to give you certain teaching instructions. This is why we're studying the 6th Patriarch Sutra again, to put more emphasis on a certain teaching than before. If you look at all the Chinese explanation of the 6th Patriarch Sutra, this sutra of the 6th Patriarch is quintessential certain teaching. This is the cream of Mahayana Chan. This even, in my opinion, higher level on the Master Wei Shan or Yang Shan training style. Okay, and so this certain teaching is lost to the Chinese. They don't have it anymore. Okay, and so that's why I looked at how Master YongHua trained his disciples. If that's how the Chinese Wei-Yang train their own disciples, they cannot understand certain teaching. And Master YongHua's level is very high, much higher than all the other patriarchs for the last few centuries, at least. And so that's why the instructions are very, very important to me, because that's how you give certain teaching instructions. If you do that and you have the blessings, you're able to carry out the instructions every day. That is Chan. It will be to the point if you are enlightened, you're 4th stage Arhat or higher, then Chan actually for you becomes your daily life. Below 4th stage Arhat. Preferably, I prefer you go to 1st ground Bodhisattva, then I would help you put more emphasis on living your life as Chan. 4th stage Arhat, it's possible, but it's too much work to teach you. So Chan then, for at higher level people, Chan becomes life. I have a new concept that might be worth something called Dharma glimpse. The other night, I talked about life Buddhism. It's a pun of words like life or live Buddhism. Depends on how you want to pronounce it, how you want to look at it. Because Buddhism to me is not in the books. Buddhism is how you live your life. It speaks loudly about the concepts of Buddhism, your understanding of Buddhism. That's why my interest is to produce a lot of people who live their lives to the highest level of the Buddhist teachings. That's called live Buddhism or life Buddhism. So this a similar concept here is life Chan or live Chan, because if you have the wisdom, meaning at the level, and to me wisdom is 1st ground Bodhisattva. 4th, I would stretch a little bit to 4th. 1st ground Bodhisattva, 4th stage Arhat. if you have wisdom, then Chan becomes life Chan or live Chan naturally. Because everything you do every day is Chan. It's fantastic. It's fun. It's rewarding. And we're talking about happiness. Okay, second question.
Thank you, Master. Just one comment on what you said. There's this word 生活禅 in Chinese modern Buddhism and especially Taiwanese, I think. It's a little bit of, I think that word, you were using the same vocabulary, life Chan or living Chan. But then when they were talking about that, it became an excuse for people not to practice hard, not to really meditate. They just say that everything is Chan. So I think your important condition there around people need to be at a certain level is really critical when we say this terminology.
Yes, it's not the words for me. When people use big words like that, every day is Chan, I look at them immediately and said, you don't know what you're talking about. Going to the supermarket is Chan? No, not you. Okay, so Chan has so many documents, have so much literature on Chan that people can read about Chan concepts and Chan states and so forth. But Chan is not that. Chan is living, being in that state. That's the objective of Chan. When we talk to you about those states of Chan, the levels of Chan, it's in order to pique your interest and to encourage you to get there and find out for yourself. Let me assure you, whatever I tell you, whatever is written in the book, is just the tip of the iceberg. You have to be there to really understand what we're talking about. And that's why I'm not impressed with the scholars or the so-called Chan experts, Zen experts, meditation experts, Vipassana and so forth. I chuckle because when I listen to them talk, I say, your talk, your mouth is not consistent with your mind. You use big words, but your mind does not understand what it is. You're not applying it. Because those words that are written in the Chan annals and Chan handbooks and Chan literature came from the people who experienced it. For example, we discuss the song enlightenment on Saturday morning, typically on our Saturday Chan class, which is, I have to admit to you, I only have a handful of students every Saturday morning, contrary to my disciples who have, like 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, or something like that. I have only a handful. Okay. So I still have to come up with things to talk about, okay? So I had to go into the song enlightenment, which is, I believe, is prepared by YongHua. So no one told me what his level was, but I listened to his thing and said, oh, wow. So he knows he's talking about. And so I said, because of the way he described his vision, I felt that he's around 7th ground Bodhisattva, which is not a bad thing at all. Okay, pretty impressive. That's why it's beautiful verses, it's very insightful and so forth. But that insights there is stopping short of really the meaning of the words he used. You see? And yet it's so impressive that the Chinese already, so impressive the non-Chinese already. You see? I don't look at people, or I don't listen the same way you do, because when I look at people, I say, you are there, but you're talking like your words are not yours. Okay? You're plagiarizing, you're stealing from others, you're not expressing your own mind, you're BSing. Okay, so someone to say right now that our chant teach you to do everyday chant, to live chant, whatever, it's nonsense. I don't know any one in the United States who have the wisdom to live like that. I don't. And I only know a rare few individuals, and yes, they are like that, but if they're like that, they don't teach you. They don't know how to teach you. Chinese is very complicated. Chinese, at first, we teach you the principles. You need to understand the principles, meaning you can get it from the Chan annals, the Chan books, the Chan papers. Okay? Those are just words. And then there's a group of people who actually live consistently with those words. They understand those words. And in the United States, only a handful of people can do that. Okay. In Korea, for example, that's how tough it is. In Vietnam, China, I'm not going to insult the Chinese. It's how tough it is. In China, we cannot fool you. Okay, if we are not straightforward and we try to con you, okay, you know what happens to us? Our teacher will stop teaching us and say, you are a phony, you are a fake, you are dishonoring our lineage. Get out. That is worse than death, trust me, for us. Yes, 9.
Yeah, thank you. 我有一个问题哈，就是昨天晚上我的血压，它高到190以下，上面是120。那请问这般是危险还是不危险？
Master, I have a question. My blood pressure went up to 120, higher than 90. Last night, is that dangerous or not?
Well, ask the doctor. I'm not qualified to give you medical opinions. It sounds dangerous. I have a lot of people who have high blood pressure. They have to take pills. Like, what is the old monk? He takes high blood pressure pills. And when he goes to a Chan Chi, he doesn't take those pills anymore. He says, I don't need any pills. I can regulate my body through my Chan practice.
对不起啊，同事，因为以前我有血压高，但是我做1个多月就没有了。忽然间，昨天晚上他出来了，他的那个医生说我是140就已经很高了，但是我是190，超过50。
Yeah, his problem is this. His body, he's dying before he came to the temple. And then he's coming to the temple and his body hasn't stopped dying. It's just, some problems get fixed, some others don't get fixed. And that's why, it's too many problems, so that he says, the fix his problem, the other problem pops up. Fix that problem, something else pops up because his body is ridden with disease. Okay? And that's how it is. Yeah.
好， 明白了，
you're
是
very
是
sick. You have many illnesses. It's not going to be. So now you need help. Okay. I'm glad you asked the question. I know that, but I can't tell you. It's none of my business. Okay? You're very sick. You have many illnesses. It could be worse. It's the only thing I can tell you. Could be a lot worse. At least we talked about it. It's just like that woman there. I let her die for months to see what she's going to do. And then it's about it could get to the point where it's too dangerous. That's one. And when she came to me and said, you have to save me. I said, no, I don't have to save you. It's your life. The third time, that's when I look at her more closely. I said, oh yeah, okay, this woman is now near the red zone. So I had to do something. Okay? Because she knew already. For months she knew that the body is dying, right? Huh, woman?
Dạ, gì là Phật mà thầy nói đúng. Bây giờ con ở đây con thiệt thực đó, thầy con trong vòng 6-7 ngày này con không có uống thuốc. Chứ mỗi một lần con ở nhà uống thuốc 4-5 viên lận. Sáng nào cũng phải uống hết trơn đó. Bây giờ con tới đây đó con không có uống hết 7 ngày, 6 ngày không có uống thuốc. Mô Phật.
Emitofuo, Master, that's right. What you said is correct. I have been fasting in 6 to 7 days now. I stopped using my medicine. Usually, I would have taken 5 of them in the morning, 5 pills in the morning. However, during this fasting for 6 days already, I did not drink any medicine at all.
I see the problems. She has to take medication to sustain herself, to drag her feet every day, drag her body out of bed. And then eventually catches up with you. The toxins from all these pills caught up with her. But when she came here to meditate, the qi will get rid of the toxins naturally, you see? But if she didn't get help, she would not even be able to come at all. Okay, so if you bring your body, you let your body slide to that level, you can't even get out of bed, and you just have to lie there and wait to die and be sustained by chemicals. And the toxin will build up inside your body. In contrast, she got help, and therefore she's able to come to the temple, and now she understands she needs to meditate. Fasting is a form of meditation practice for her. Not everyone can sit in full lotus. We have different ways to teach people. And so, that you see, the result is that she stopped poisoning herself. All right, go Forest.
Master, this is my second question. Back to the topic of work. I found out that as I progress more, I become more, like you said, have more insights and sharper at work. And then I got some bad feedback from people that complaining me. I think I came across, because I see problems a little bit too quickly. Maybe they feel it came across as critical, and I'm not really at the position to fixing everything for everybody. So the feedback is I'm too critical without providing solutions. Why I criticizing things or expressing things can be done better. So what should I do? Should I try to shut up more? Or is this just a work in progress?
How about trying to be a nicer person? Just because you're right doesn't mean you don't have to be nice. It's much more important for us in our practice to be nice than to be right.
I tried.
You have to stop being a bitch. I mean, is your son there?
I used to have better relationship with coworkers before. Because maybe I didn't come across as...
No. You have to stop being a bitch. Because you only approach everything as what can you get the most out of it? There's lots of children here. Excuse me, children. Okay, you have to stop being bitch.
That mean?
Children here are very innocent.
I'm warning you, during a Chanchi, I'm a terrible company. I blurt everything that crosses my mind, and I regret it. I don't.
Lots of times I feel I'm being straight-minded.
I'm told you, at the temple it's okay to be straight, but not at work. Are you stupid or something? I mean, STUPID? What is the matter with you? You're not paid to be BITCH. What do you think? When are you going to learn? You know why these people follow me? It's because that woman they follow me, even though she's a master, a YongHua, because she feels I care for her. Right, her woman? Non-disciple woman? Her old master doesn't care for her. I care more for her. That's why she's around here. Yes?
Right.
I care more for her family than her own master. You get the point? People want to work for you because you care for them, not because you're right. There's plenty of people who are right. How many care for you? Really, really care for you? Because when I help her, I was sick for a day and a half. That's why, I don't like to help people. I hate helping people. I don't like it. It's the doctor's job. That's Mary Jo's job. I don't want to deal with crazy people. I want to deal with sick people. What for?
Vô Phật và thầy phải quan tâm con đó. Ngài Hòa Thượng YongHua gửi con cho thầy đó. Này con nói thẳng ra bữa nay cho thầy biết.
So the point here is that you have to learn. Just because you have wisdom, meaning that you can see the problems quicker, dissect the problem better, come up with better solutions than your co-workers and your bosses, doesn't mean you can be BITCH. That's when you show you care. There's nothing worse than being with someone who knows more than you every single thing. Right, Peter? God, a disgusting thing. You're always right. You can see better than us. What are you doing here? And you don't understand. To be a boss is that you need to protect them, you need to help them, you need to go to bat for them, you need to be in the trenches with them. You need to, whatever their problem is, you need to learn about it. I've been learning about illnesses like I don't care to know. Okay? You have to stop it. You have to be more caring. You have to be kinder and more compassionate. Start first with your husband. Yes, one.
Thank you, Master. I have a comment on what Trin's sharing, but also on Jim's earlier question too about work. My takeaway, Trin, is that you're getting feedback that you're making people lose face, and the things I've learned the hard way is you can't problem solve by pointing out faults in a meeting, in an email. If you want to truly problem solve something at work, it takes kindness and compassion directly with people, not in front of others where they lose face. I think that's the source of the feedback you're receiving. And especially as an employee, you have to be careful because how you work with people is what you're judged on, not what you do.
It's so true. I have the same problem too. I know you're all stupid, but there's nothing I can do about it. I tell you, you don't understand what I'm going to do. So if I call you stupid, how does it help? If I criticize you in front of everyone, how does it help? Why do you think you're here? You're here because you somehow believe I care. And it's so untrue. It's just a sales pitch. Okay? The point here is that you want. Here's the thing. Even if the Buddha knows how to fix your problem, even the Buddha says, I'm the greatest physician in the world. I prescribe the medicine to you. It's you who refuse to take it. It's nothing I can do. Your job as a manager, okay, is to recognize what is good for you and for everyone, okay? More importantly, what's important for your bosses, for your subordinates. And then you do everything possible to make it happen. That's how you show you care. It's not words. You don't put your self-interest at the center of everything. That's what your failure is so far. And you're young, eventually you learn, okay? You fail a few times, and if you still don't quit, then you understand. I threw Peter at that because I knew that he would fail miserably. And there's companies willing to put a lot of money to train him, to let him fail. I let him fail so that he learns eventually. You get beaten so quick, so often at work, and go home, and your wife look at you, you loser. That's when it sinks in. Eventually, we all have to learn from mistakes. That's normal. It's okay to make mistakes. And that's why even if you have the solution and they don't buy into it, it's nothing you can do. They don't like you. They're not gonna support you. They're gonna give you bad reviews and try to get you out of the way. That's what Peter found out. Yes, 7.
Thank you, Master. I went through the same process at my current job. In the beginning, I saw lots of issues I wanted to correct and tell them about, and I got incredible resistance.
Yeah.
I got
there's nothing worse than a smart Alex who knows everything. And then he's there to constantly remind you every single meeting how stupid you are.
After listening,
how annoying.
It was tough. But listening to Dharma, though, I started slowly changing my behavior, and I started holding back and just waiting.
You have to wait until it's the right time to tell them they're stupid.
And then at some point, they run into a problem they can't solve.
That's when.
And then you wait.
Yeah.
They look at you and they go,
there you go.
What do you think about this, Jim? I'm curious what you think about
it. Hey son, the skill is to make them believe it's their own ideas. No one wants it from you. And they say, oh, I came up with it. And you get zero credit whatsoever.
That is exactly, if suddenly they start spouting what you
But that's how you build your blessings. Now he has a slave for you in the future. The son of a gun will have to slave for you in the future. Okay, don't worry. We give, but we own them. we never lose. Trust me. When you give, you never lose. Only small mind people are trying. What's in it for me? What I need to maximize my benefit. That's so small. Yes, one.
Thank you, Master. And I wanted to share too, especially along the lines of you mentioning the live Chan and live Chan, and to Jim's question about how do we use Chan in the workplace. And Trin, I think you're in a great position to do it. But only speaking for myself, when I come to the temple on the weekends and I fight the stress and anxiety of just coming to temple because I know it's going to be hard, and the difficulty of crossing your legs and pushing through it, whether you succeed or fail, it kind of sets like a reference point in my mind. And when you're in the workplace, I can get equally afflicted or even more afflicted by people's actions or people's stupidity and things that get me frustrated. And it's those moments where I've had the Chan frame of reference from crossing my legs and how painful and hard it is, but I don't shout out and scream, that's where I found I could put Chan to work in the workplace too, because it's not crossing your legs, but it's the mental fortitude to remain calm despite extreme affliction or want to point out, this is dumb. Can someone do something about this? It's really easy to do if you don't train your mind.
Yeah, you're not here to destroy other people's career, to prove you're better. You're there to help solve a problem. You have to have the proper perspectives. Just like you in Kong right there. You see that girl in front is struggling, and this is when you reach out and encourage her and tell her the pain is good for her. You see, we all have to go through it. And that's so important. It's so much more important to me that you reach out and help others, because you realize how difficult it is. It's very difficult. Okay, what we do is very, very difficult. That's why you become kinder. If you survive, you become naturally kinder. Not just say, I made it, so now, now I look back, you're so stupid. You're so inferior. No, you realize I lucked out. I got here because I got, somehow I managed to make it. Now, I know how difficult it was for me, how close I was to the edge of the precipice. You don't know how, for me, every day, for years, I was groping around, not seeing the way at all, not seeing anything, not getting any help whatsoever. So I'm basically tiptoeing along the precipice. And I know that, I might fall off any moment. So my practice, let me tell you, it's not like you right now where you have something warm, you have lots of people who practice ahead of you, and they made it and so forth. And you have a group of great practitioners there, have a track record and so forth. I was totally practicing in the blind. So instead of being proud of myself, I said, wow, it was tough for all of you. Not just me. And you become naturally kinder and more compassionate because you remember how much you suffered. You don't just say, I made it, oh, you were such losers. Okay? Conk.
감사합니다. 아미타불 마스터.
YongHua, it's been a long time. How are you? See, Catholic, my hearing is just fine.
Master, in 6th Patriarch Sutra,
Oh yeah, thank you. Let's go back to 6th Patriarch. You guys are distracting me. We're here to learn about the Dharma, certain teaching. Instead, we've been gossiping for almost 2 hours. You guys are terrible.
6조 대사께서 이제 그 법문 중에서 금강경을 수지 독성 그러니까 암송 외우는 것이 좋다라는 그 말씀이 있으셔서 예전에 외우다가 말았는데 다시 외우기 시작해서 한 지금 10% 정도 외웠습니다.
so in 6th Patriarch Sutra, it says 6th Patriarch mentioned that it's a good thing to receive and maintain the Vajra Sutra. So I worked on it. I memorized about 80%. 그다음 안 했다고요?
그래서 80% 외웠는데 이제 거의 다 외워가는데 질문을 드리고 싶은 게 이 경을 가급적 이제 소리를 내서 읽는 게 당연히 좋을 것 같은데 상황에 따라서 이제 묵송으로 뭐 이제 선칠 같은 경우에는 소리 내서 외우기는 좀 주변 사람들한테 미안하니까 이 단전에 대고 그냥 묵송으로 그러니까 인오들리 안으로 그냥 외워도 무방할지 좀 여쭈고 싶습니다.
So it seems like I almost memorized it. When I recite it, I feel like it's much more beneficial to recite it loudly. However, during Chanchi, for example, there are other people around me. So is it also okay to recite silently?
Yes, it is. It's a good idea to recite it silently. You accord with conditions. When you're by yourself, you can recite loudly. When you're with others, you try to avoid disrupting them, especially during a chanchi, especially when they're meditating. You absolutely want to avoid disrupting the people who meditate. Trust me. Because if you disrupt them, you create karmic offenses. That's why, for example, during a chanchi here, you don't realize it, but I have to repent on your behalf because you're disrupting all the others with your behavior. Either you move too much, you make noises, you snore or whatever, you walk too loud or whatever, you're creating a lot of offenses. You're disrupting people who meditate. It's a very serious offense. You don't realize it. I have to repent for you every day, and that's how I earn my pay. Because if I didn't, suppose you were disrupting a bodhisattva who's meditating up there with your snoring, and he's about to become enlightened to the next level. Oh boy, are you in deep potatoes, mountain potatoes. It's a Korean thing. We eat Idaho potatoes, they eat mountain potatoes. It's a good thing. You see, he's learning all the good things. Look at that. His daughter, now he manages to get her to sit in full lotus. Do you know that as soon as you cross your legs in full lotus, your chi immediately kicks into a few notches above its normal flow. So when you're not feeling well, you cross your legs in full lotus and it kicks up. Okay? Normal people, ordinary people, when they're not feeling well, they lie down and rest. We chant people, when we're not feeling well, we cross our legs and we naturally pass out. But as you cross your legs, your chi will flow like at least 3 times stronger than before. And that's why once you understand, you get into full lotus, and you cannot sit in full lotus anymore, like Heidi, like other people. They say, I want to get into full lotus. I can't stand there. I cannot get in full lotus, because there's a huge difference between full lotus and the non-full lotus positions, postures. Huge difference. And you know it. Okay, it's a skill you have. It's a tremendous asset for yourself. Imagine your body is dying at a normal rate. When you sit in full lotus, the circulation of qi around your body has a function of healing yourself. When this happens, you're healing yourself. Your whole body is healing itself. Okay, this and that, all sorts of problems. Okay, and imagine that you're doing it like 3 times more than before. That's why you get healthier. Naturally. And that's, that when his girl right there, he gets her to get in full lotus, she'll be calmer. Of course, in sometimes she will get agitated because of the outside attacks, if you will. But that's part of the process. Okay? They calm down. They're a lot calmer. Any other questions or comments? Number 1.
Thank you, Master. We have 2 YouTube questions.
Yes.
Question number
1. They're very kind. Look at in Kong now. They are encouraging her. You see? Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Mani Chawayo. Namo Chawayo.
What did he say?
It means good. It means good.
It means good. Oh, yeah. She's not listening to you.
Zhang, zhang, zhang.
Okay, yes.
Question number 1 from Let Go. What is your thought on this, Master? In Buddhism, you should do what you wish. Buddhism is not a cult. No one should stop you from doing what you wish to do. If you are afraid or fear of doing as you wish, then this is not Buddhism.
Buddhism is a cult. You should do. If to him, Buddhism is not a cult because you're free to do as you please, then I'm telling him, for him, he should join a cult. Because our cult, we do what our teachers tell us to do. So, therefore, to him, as we are called. Okay. However, if you won't listen to yourself, then you'll never be able to escape the tight grip that your ego has on you. And that's why in Chan, particular Chan training, we're not talking about Buddhism, we're talking about Chan. Okay, San Jose people, I want to see some new faces. Okay? And Chan training, it's not about knowledge, it's not about vipassana or about whatever baloney they tell you, okay, that people are going for. Chan training is about executing and trying your best to execute the instructions from your teacher, your good no advisor. Therefore, according to Let Go, we are called. So be it. Okay, that's how. That's how you'll be able to destroy your ego. Okay, number 2.
Thank you, Master. Second question from Aqua Racer. Master, this is Kevin. Could you share with us some personal experiences, how you dealt with the pain and got over it?
Kevin? Do I know Kevin? Huh?
Gold Forest, Kevin?
I have so many Kevin. Excuse me, I'm getting old. I don't remember all the names anymore.
Chinese Kevin?
Okay, let's pretend we know the Chinese. So difficult. How do I deal with the pain? Oh, I'm very creative. I came up with, I'm not lying to you, I'm not kidding you. I came up with around 100 ways to deal with the pain. And the main way, the main thing is that I refuse. I refuse. My makeup is different from you. I do not like to lose. Especially when people think I'm a loser, I hate it. My master disciples made a mistake of branding me as a loser. I said, I'm going to prove to you I ain't no loser by becoming better than you. And then I would teach my disciples to be better than you. That fuel my fire. And when people, so that's what helped me. So if you have that drive, then you can come up with 100 things and 200 things or 1,000 things very easily because you ain't going to give up. If it doesn't work anymore, you say, I ain't quitting. And you come up with something else, try something else, and it worked for a while, and it stopped working, you try something else. Okay? There's nothing I haven't tried off, and that's why I chuckle when people tell me that they say, I worked so much, and you know what? It's okay. This is what I did. I say, yep, I did that. Let me tell you, everything in the last 15 years that anyone tried to deal with the pain, I did it already. Okay? Even a guy, very early on, very smart aleck, and it's the reason why he's able to do that. He says, I hate this full lotus thing, pain thing. It's just unbearable to me. He's a young man. He's in his 23 years old back then. Now he's really old, Catholic. And he said, he said very quickly, he said, I figure out how to defeat the pain. I said, yeah, what did you do? He says, I can switch it off. I said, yeah, I did that too. But I ain't teaching you. I ain't teaching anyone because I want you to experience the pain. I want you to struggle. Remember? When you don't struggle, I'm very unhappy. I'm more or less, I'm a sadist in a way. When people are in pain and I struggle, I like it. Because in my defense, you have a much faster chance to progress. Yes, 3.
Thank you.
Don't be afraid, I'm sure you come up with different things, as long as you don't quit, which I did. I refused to quit. I said, I will do it for one more day. That's how glamorous my spiritual practice was. I said, I am the end of my rope. Let's quit tomorrow. But until tomorrow, let's do it until tomorrow, then we quit. And the next day I woke up and said, well, let's do one more day. I feel better than yesterday. That's how sad it was. Yes, 3.
Yes, I have a question with regards to sitting and meditation, being tired, sleepy, or entering samadhi. Is there a threshold that is makes a big difference? And how to identify it? Because if I'm falling asleep, I want to wake up and they make sure that I'm meditating. However, I don't know whether.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
It doesn't matter at all. Just sit in full lotus, meditate, try your best. Don't worry if you fall asleep or you enter samadhi. It doesn't matter at all. Okay? Doesn't matter. Just do it. Don't need to understand too much. That knowledge there is not going to help you. Okay, now, did you see what we did today? Did you notice what happened? I cannot believe it. You guys are totally unserious and not serious. That lady in Korea, see how bent forward she was like the whole time? Look, now she's up. Ask her how she feels. You feel good? You feel good? Huh? Bo Gyong, you feel good?
Thank you. Thank you, Master.
It feels better?
지금 단식하고 있어요. 어제 너무 아팠어요.
She's fasting, and then yesterday she suffered so much. She told me she has severe migraine. She feels like so much suffering. And then we all told, oh, that's nothing. You still can speak, so that's not too much pain. So let's go on.
Yeah, see? Yeah. That's the thing. You don't quit. You hang in there, and that's when you will experience great joy later. And that's the secret. You have to pay for it. You have to pay for its suffering. You suffer, the joy you experience will be greater than you ever experienced before in your entire life. That's our secret. You hang in there, you don't quit. And when you notice how she struggled, and this is important for the rest of you in Korea and Kong right there, to support her. Chun, that's called kindness and compassion. You see your co-worker struggle and not seeing the end of the light at the end of the tunnel. That's when you show kindness and compassion. You support them. And that's what that's the environment at Kong where they supported that Bo Gyong, the young lady there. Just hang in there long enough and wonderful things happen. That's all. Okay? Oh God, I still have 10 more minutes and I hate to really start anything. Ask me another question, please. One.
Master, can I share what I do to deal with the pain?
Okay, sure. Enlighten us.
And this is for Aqua Racer, who's Kevin Gao at Gold Forest. He's new. What I recommend is first you have to come to the temple, and then you try as hard as you can, and no matter how much it hurts, at the end of your session, the snack table is always there for you. That's one of my big tricks.
Dolphin training, that's why I call sardines. We always have sardines too. I'm willing to stock our shelves up with sardines. If that's what it takes. We're fanatics. We are not normal people. We are a cult. Whatever it takes to help you not quit, I would do. Go Forest, and we go back to 9.
Master, it's very interesting. We were discussing this topic in the Chinese group today. That so the context is that there's been 4 or 5 female disciples of you, not all disciples, but students of Venerable Xianxin. In Shanghai, they got together in the weekend and they had a really good supportive session of sitting. A lot of people sit longer. My sister was there. So they were like really supportive. Xiaoqin's mom cooked food and someone was holding, Li Jing was holding my sister's hand to encourage her. It was really nice. And then we discussed that it seems like females support each other a lot in this way, and a lot of us cry or talk to someone on the phone for a long time, or just do those kind of more social type of thing to get through the leg pain. And then we were saying that the men cannot get support that way because they tend to shut inside themselves, and they would not have anybody to really call to talk with them when they want to stay longer and can benefit from talking to someone. So we were just talking about like what are the ways to help men to stay longer. It seems harder. Like a lot of techniques we use don't work.
It's so true. It's so true nowadays, especially nowadays. Even the professional like Mary Jo noticed it already, that men have a hard time communicating, connecting with other men, whereas women is just exact opposite. Women find it much easier to get a support group of women. But men, they cannot, they prefer to stay within their cocoons. Maybe it's a cultural thing, I'm not sure, okay? But that's how we are, I guess. That's our makeup. And because of that, women tend to progress a lot faster than men in a Chan practice, because that's what it takes initially for you. Initially, you need some support, okay? You need to have enough support so that you don't quit. You don't quit, then if you don't quit and you endure enough suffering, you will begin to appreciate the tough training, because you will not you get a lot more out of it than from anything else in the world, and than from any other practice, let me tell you. And that's why initially it's very important for all of you. And I admit to you, I've been playing it cool because I let you struggle, and I didn't say anything to my disciples for like the first 6 years, 10 years. I didn't say anything. I let them suffer, and then they quit. I say, oh, good. I have few people to worry about. Yeah. But nowadays, the reason people are progressing, more people are making progress and progressing faster, is because of what they did at Kong. They went through it and they supported the newcomers. That's what you need to do. Okay? And so that's why women in our environment go further than the men, because they have a support structure. In Chun's sister, for example, she passes out. And this is one of the things, for example, where if you practice Chan, you will fix that problem. It's a fixable problem. And it's not something the medical doctors understand how to fix. With time, people understand. He say, oh yeah, we can fix it. But if you hang around long enough, it'll get fixed. There's nothing that cannot be fixed unless you die before that. That's all. Catholic. Jesus. Okay, so that's why I don't know how to help the men. I like the men the way they are. We tough, man. So here's what happens. There is a trade-off, ladies and gentlemen. You women have a much better support structure. That's why you progress together, like the Koreans here. They go in pair. The first two got to there together, and the second group now is getting there together at the same time. I find it disgusting. There's no individuality. For us, Americans, we worship individuality. Okay? Because it's okay. If the women, like the Chinese women and the Korean women, they support each other, great. They get together in bunch is great. But you know what? They're going to have problems. The bus we rent only takes up to 15 people. Too many of you, tough luck, we leave some behind. You get the point? The point is that we'll get to the stages where you can no longer be together. And that's when you struggle later, you women. We men, we quit before. We quit prematurely. Sorry. Yeah, I know. Shame on me. Shame on you. Those who quit too soon. Okay? They're going to quit. They quit anyway. Doesn't matter what they do. Okay? But those who don't quit, but they don't reach out to get help, later on, they will do better than you women. So there's always trade-offs. The women, like the Koreans say, they go in bunch, two together, like Noah's Ark. Two. Okay? So they because if they didn't, they would say, one would say, why didn't you share me? Why didn't you tell me what Master taught you? Aren't we Koreans? I know, it's disgusting. And so I feel that you don't have to worry about it. The men who made it, who are standalones, or in the end, they'll go further. And the women will get stuck because aren't you supposed to help me? No, when you get higher, you find out you're on your own, kids. You don't want to depend on others. Initially, that's why it's Initially, at first, you should encourage others until they get a flavor of Chan. That's why they won't quit. Because when they have a flavor of that, like that young lady there in the conch, she's struggling so much, I always chuckle. Every time I look at her on the weekend, I say, wow, when is she going to quit now? But this woman is tough. And I realized she didn't quit because she got so much support. That's great. We should do that initially. But eventually, you have to be like us men. We don't want your help. Okay? Anyone else? It's a good point, yes. So there's a trade-off. I would like you to help everyone and have a network initially. But eventually, when you get higher, you naturally will detach. Okay? Because what happened is that when you meditating and the problems arrive at you, you don't have time to ask anyone for help. It's too late. You have to learn to fend for yourself naturally. And that's why it's funny. I have this that's like a Heng Ting, who is one of the eminent disciples of Master YongHua. He's in seclusion for many years in Hong Kong, and Master YongHua said he's getting close, and he got so bad that he wrote me a letter. I heard this a long time ago. Wrote me a letter and said, 3 demon kings are attacking me, Master. Please help. And so I don't know how to deal with it. So Master YongHua immediately got on the phone and talked to him and helped him. And I chuckled. I said, nah, I let him die. What a loser. And you don't die, and that's how you become better. You help them, then they become dependent on you. Yes, you give up one? 9, yeah, 9.
Oh, yeah. Master Brady gave me that book about the bowing pilgrimage in Hong Shore. Would you ever send disciples across Korea or California to
No. Don't learn bowing from that guy. I think he bows wrong. I would not bow his style. Okay. I don't learn how to bow from him. I don't like his bowing. The way he teaches bowing is wrong. You don't teach bowing like that.
The bowing
if
pilgrimage.
any of you teaches bowing, people bowing like that, I would slap you in the face. That's the wrong way to teach bowing.
The pilgrimage, the 2 steps, 1 bow?
Too slow, honey. I mean, too low, man. Too slow. If you can't meditate, I'll teach you how to do the pilgrimage. Okay? If you can't meditate, don't do pilgrimage. Too slow. We are certain teaching men. We don't do, too slow. 1, 2, 3, bow. 1, 2, 3, bow all day. Too slow. Come on. We are certain teaching, dude. He's 7.
Thank you, Master. I just want to give credit actually to the women at the temple because I feel that I gained a lot of support from them.
Yeah, eventually outgrow them. We leave the women behind. I told that whatever the guy who asked earlier, we're a cult, man. 4.
I guess we women have to leave the men behind too.
You're so sexist. I can't stand sexist women. 1.
We're happy to be left behind, but we'll be here when you need something heavy lifted.
Okay, you guys are horsing around now. I have to go. Thank you, everyone. See you next week. You're having too much fun. This is a Chanchi, man. You're supposed to suffer.